Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and what a beautiful Independence Day evening today around almost all of north central Washington. Just a few clouds out there, and yes, we did hear of a few scattered showers mainly to our north along the Canadian border and some of the northeast mountains of Washington. But look at this beautiful shot of the Wenatchee Valley. Lots of sun out there and temperatures very mild, just slightly below where we should be for this time of year. And if you're looking for outdoor events tomorrow, and I'm sure a lot of you are because it is the 4th of July, here's what it shapes up to look like here in the Wenatchee area, and it's going to be a nice one. We will see mostly sunny skies here in Wenatchee. Afternoon high temperature about 83. For the evening fireworks at Walla Walla Park at 9 o'clock tomorrow, looks like temperatures will be around the 70-degree mark. Also nice east if you're heading towards Spokane. High temperature there tomorrow, right around 78. We will have your complete weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Highway 28 outside Quincy will be closed for almost 2 weeks starting Monday for road and roundabout construction. East Wenatchee Mayor Steve Lacy voices his disappointment with the results of an outside review of the police department. And the man who was killed when his vehicle went off an embankment on Highway 20 has been identified. But first, we begin tonight. Flash flooding throughout the region swamped at least 3 highways Tuesday afternoon. That included Highway 97A near Eniat, where up to 2 feet of mud forced the closure of the highway just before the evening commute. State crews continued to work to clear the highway this afternoon, and it was reopened around 2 o'clock. Even worse was Highway 971, South Lakeshore Drive along Lake Chelan, where mud was up to 8 feet deep in places. The slide was near Slide Ridge, a historically unstable area where Chelan County has been working to secure. County Public Works reports the road will continue to be closed to traffic about 2.5 miles up from the state park. Only local traffic is able to use the bypass road. Officials say the area needs time to dry out, so that road closure is expected through the weekend and into next week. The public is asked to stay away from the slide area. Crews were also working to clear storm debris from roads in the Manson area. In addition, State Route 2 east of Waterville was closed Tuesday after a flash flood covered that highway with mud. That road was fully blocked but was reopened at about 4:10 p.m. Highway 28 outside Quincy will be closed for almost 2 weeks starting on Monday for road and roundabout construction. The closure is at the intersection of the highway and F Street Southwest and 13th Avenue Southwest. Motorists will need to use White Trail Road as a detour during that closure. East Wenatchee Mayor Steve Lacy voices his disappointment with the results of an outside review of the police department, but the mayor said at least at last night's city council meeting that he would not comment publicly on the report's findings or recommendations. The mayor used his time on last night's agenda to respond to questions he received following the release of the report last week by the Washington State Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. The review requested by the mayor found serious flaws in the police administration, including lack of top-down communication, antiquated record keeping, and inadequate training. The report also appeared to back up complaints by the police officers union that led to a vote of no confidence against Chief Randy Harrison and Assistant Chief Ray Coble. The mayor said last night he intends to move forward with the union and the chief to address the report's conclusions, but he said he wants to do that behind closed doors.
A highly critical report obtained by NCWLIFE News through a public records request follows an independent review of the police department requested by Chief Randy Harrison, Mayor Steve Lacy, and the Police Officers Union. Harrison and his Assistant Chief Ray Coble are accused of mismanagement by the union, and they've received a vote of no confidence by its membership. The review was conducted through the Washington State Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs and the Loaned Executive Management Assistance Program, or LEMAP. The report's findings appear to substantiate some of the union's concerns. The report also identifies a lack of top-down communication as a major grievance. The report says most officers and sergeants are frustrated by the infrequent presence of both the chief and assistant chief due to their offices being located outside of the headquarters building and in an adjoining house. The review panel found problems with various department functions, including outdated record keeping. The report states the LEMAP team discovered considerable inefficiencies and underutilization of technologies, which is hindering the department and creating considerable work. The report also cited training as a significant vulnerability. In its words, because the agency does not have an actual or authentic training program, end quote. 79-page report provides an assessment of all facets of the police department and a set of recommendations for improving the functions of the department and morale. Meanwhile, the report said the department has experienced significant turmoil over the past year, resulting from an internal investigation where a sergeant was eventually provided with a letter of reprimand. The LEMAP report says, quoting here, the current dispute between labor and management has created significant fracture within the department, particularly within the bargaining unit. Officers and sergeants are not united with their complaints about management, and the fracture across all strata of the department needs to be resolved if the department is to move forward. Leadership on both sides, according to the report, will be fundamental to resolving the conflict. Steve Hare, NCWLIFE News.
The union representing the police officers issued a formal statement that supports the findings of the LEMAP report, and members continue to call for a change of leadership. Well, the man who was killed when his vehicle went off an embankment on Highway 20 has been identified as 24-year-old Michael Nagowski of Maple Falls. His 1999 Jeep Cherokee was spotted by a passerby Tuesday morning. It was about 300 feet down an embankment 33 miles west of Winthrop in a tiny section of Chelan County. The Washington State Patrol has not determined when or why Nagowski's vehicle went off that roadway. Coming up next, we'll talk to two supporters of Initiative 1648, a movement aimed at putting a cap on new taxes. The Chelan County Regional Justice Center, built in 1984, has been beset with problems in recent years, but jail officials say progress is being made on turning things around. And with Independence Day coming up, keep in mind that the loud noises of fireworks can cause a lot of anxiety for your pets. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine-in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
Welcome back. In another news, during the last session, the Washington legislature passed 11 new taxes totaling over $27 billion. That didn't sit well with some. I was joined earlier today by two supporters of Initiative 1648, a political movement aimed at putting an end to what they and thousands of Washington residents say is ridiculous taxation. Over 30 days ago, an amazing grassroots political operation kind of was born here in Washington State. We're talking about Initiative 1648, which puts a cap on new taxes, I guess in a simplified way. Joining me right now is Carrie Condata, host of the 12th District program right here on the NCWLIFE channel, as well as local businessman Mike McKee. And Mike, we'll start with you. First of all, 1648 has been an amazing, as I mentioned, grassroots operation. Tell us what it's about and what you hope to accomplish.
Well, the first thing it does is the $27 billion worth of taxes they passed the last 3 nights, well, probably early morning in the session. They blessed us with $27 billion, and that is with a B. So this will totally take those away. Wipe them out, term those, and then a 12-month limitation sunset on any new taxes should they want to bless us some more.
And how this has kind of taken hold is there are petitions, right, Carrie, all over the state of Washington, and you're getting a lot of signatures right now.
Well, we are. The initiative process is you have to get about 322,000 signatures. We thought it might be impossible to do that in 35 days. It's only been done once before. But Mike is the guy that just says he can't say no to Mike McKee, and we started this Facebook page. I helped him get a few people started, and then it just took off like wildfire. We've got 10,400 members as of now. They're all out there working the petitions, and we are going to have the greatest convoy across the state Friday morning collecting even more signatures. We hope that we get enough to deliver to the Secretary of State at 2 o'clock on Friday.
So that Friday's a big day for you guys, isn't it?
Friday's the day.
It is.
And this thing's important. Mike, you're a small business guy. You know how important this is.
It is. They just keep throwing more and more taxes, and if it's not taxes, we're collecting the taxes for them and accounting for everything. So yeah, it's tough.
So realistically, I think it's going to happen.
I feel pretty good about it right now. I got to tell you, this is the most amazing grassroots effort. This Facebook page just took off. People are helping other people. There is no money, no paid signature gathers. It's very unique. But I think we've tapped into the anger of the public about their government not listening to them, which I've known about for some time. I think it could happen.
And from what I've heard and read about this too, it's not really along party lines in this case, is it? It's really kind of wide open for everyone. Everybody has an opinion about this, and very strong one at that.
Tell them the Eastern Washington thing.
Yeah, so when we started this, it was Eastern Washington for I-1648, and within 24 hours, it blew up. Private messages saying, hey, don't leave us out of this. We want to be part of this party, Western Washington. And then not only was it Western Washington, but it was both sides of the aisle. I mean, we have many Democrats involved in this, collecting signatures.
And there's still time to do it, right?
There's still time to do it. There's locations open around town. We are collecting today at a lot of those locations, but Mike's Meats is going to be open tomorrow, and they'll be able to take your signature right up till about noon. And then if you get on this map, it's on the Facebook page, which is Washington for I-1648. You can tap into this map. It'll show you exactly where we're going to be in every location, over 40 locations in Washington, Friday morning between 7 a.m. and 12 noon. And you can sign, you can drop off petitions. We're going to run this thing right to 2 o'clock.
Mike, anything else you want to add before I let you go?
Yeah, it's been a wild 35 days. That's all I can say.
Carrie, add anything?
Well, let's see what happens. We'll get back to you Monday.
All right. Thanks so much for being with us, guys.
Thank you.
The Chelan County Regional Justice Center, built in 1984, has been beset with problems in recent years, but jail officials say progress is being made on turning things around. NCWLIFE's Kyle Montgomery met with jail directors and toured the facility this week and filed this report.
A year ago, the Chelan County Regional Justice Center was nearing a crisis state in their facility. Workers there said chronic staffing shortages and outdated equipment were putting their lives in danger, and their union even threatened to sue. Overtime hours were piling up, and turnover was becoming all too common at the jail. The county hired former Washington State Patrol Captain Bill Larson as interim jail director to assess the conditions. On a tour of the jail this week, Larson talked about what he saw, the changes that have been implemented, and the state of the outdated jail.
Safety and security being probably the primary, but the reason that there were some deficiencies in that area is because there was a lack of staffing, but also some organizational structure. There was some lack of there's a lack of training. There was a lack of effective policies in place.
It was really that sense of it was starting to kind of get to the point where we were losing some of our quality folks because of that sense of hopelessness. They just said, I can't stay here and do this anymore. And so now we're starting to really lose our quality people, and it started to become an urgent matter that we can't continue to go down this road.
We are pursuing the enhancement of our CCTV camera system because right now we do not have cameras in most of the housing units, and so we have inmates basically free to engage in different kinds of activities without being seen by jail staff.
One of the changes implemented by Larson was a morning bed check done to gain control over a drug problem inside the facility and improve inmate behavior. The bed checks are also part of an incentive program that rewards inmates for keeping the cells clean, among other things. Larson, who plans to stay on as jail director into early next year, said county commissioners have been receptive to his request for more personnel and equipment, but there remains a long way to go.
I agree with the commissioners at this point that there is a critical need to invest in this current jail with the security features that I've mentioned, the cameras and different programs and some maintenance issues and some technology. We have to get that on board in order to operate safely and effectively.
Larson says although a new jail would solve many of the problems they currently face, restoring order, morale, and safety at the current facility will continue to be the focus. With NCWLIFE News, I'm Kyle Montgomery.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Time now for a quick check of your local weather forecast. Before we get to those details, outside we go, and what a beautiful day it was today, the day before our Independence Day celebration, and should be a gorgeous one for that. Nice today too, with just a few clouds lingering over the foothills, lots of sunshine and nice mild temperatures. Today's highs a little bit below where we should be for this time of year, but still not too bad out there. We reached 80 unofficially in Wenatchee, 83 is normal, almost where we should be for our low at 58 degrees. Sunrise tonight, or sunrise this morning was at 5:09, sunset tonight at 9:01. Let's get to that surface loop now and show you what we can expect over the next 6 or 7 days. Not much change to talk about. Tonight, mostly clear. We'll see a west wind, maybe 10 to 15 miles an hour right here in the Wenatchee area. Isobars kind of packed tightly together around central Washington, so that could be our scenario tonight. Thursday, the start of just a beautiful weather trend for our 4th of July. Partly cloudy skies, northwest winds for our Independence Day. about 5 to 15 miles an hour. Highs tomorrow a little bit warmer too, into the lower 80s. For Friday, even warmer temperatures as we get into our long holiday weekend. Mostly sunny, lots of clear skies almost all around Washington State. So no matter where you travel over the next few days, you're going to see lots of sunshine out there. As we head into the weekend, mostly sunny and mild for our Saturday. Maybe a few more clouds along the Cascades and back into western Washington. That will be our scenario with Sunday as well, with mostly sunny and mild conditions then. In fact, lots of clear skies in eastern Washington. A bit of a warm-up will begin late Sunday, and especially as we get into Monday. Remember, orange colors mean lower to mid 80s, and that's where most of us will be on Monday. A little bit cooler temperatures back to our west, but we just warm up. A building heat wave will be our weather pattern as we move into Tuesday, with lots of warm temperatures all over eastern Washington. In fact, all over the south and central United States, and we could be in the 90s as we move into the middle of next week. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune 7-day forecast. We will drop down to 58 tonight, 83 your high temperature tomorrow. We'll stay in the low to mid 80s and all the way up to 88 by the time we get into next Tuesday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Being able to support yourself and your family is an important part of who we are. We all need to know we're able to provide ourselves with a secure future. Some job seekers have a harder time finding work. That's why Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is here, a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to help people find work. When you shop at or donate to Goodwill, you're really being a job creator, and that's a good thing for everyone's future. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm Dan Kuntz, filling in for the vacationing Eric Granstrom. He'll be back on Monday. Let's talk sports. The Wenatchee Apple Sox bats fell silent. A 5-3 loss last night to the Kelowna Falcons at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The Sox led from the third inning on until the sixth and never again after that. They have now lost 2 in a row. Wenatchee collected 3 hits, committed 3 errors, scored 3 runs, and stranded 3 men on the base pass with the wrap-up from last night. Here's the voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman.
After scoring a combined 27 runs in their last 4 games, the Wenatchee Apple Sox bats were certainly due for an off night, and that's exactly what happened on Tuesday night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The Apple Sox mustered 3 runs on just 3 hits and fell to the Kelowna Falcons 5-3 in the series opener. It was a tough night for the bats. They scored twice in the third inning and pretty much quiet after that. Not much activity offensively. But the Sox look to try to even up the series on Wednesday night, the ever-popular fireworks night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. First pitch is at 7:05, and Ryan Long will toe the rubber for the Apple Sox. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you, Joel. The Sox opened the scoring with 2 runs in the third inning. Tyler Detloff, he led off with a base hit, stole second, advanced to third on a wild pitch, and then he scored an RBI groundout by Blake Clausen. And with 2 outs, Cole McKenzie and Hunter Montgomery both had back-to-back base hits. That put the runners on the corners, and then a double steal. McKenzie took off from first. He drew the throw from the catcher, and that brought in McKenzie, who scored from third base. Although he was tagged out, the other runner was tagged out at second. The run still counted. Kelowna struck once again against Wyatt in the third and in the fifth, I should say, and then 3 times. They scored 3 runs in the sixth, thanks to 3 hits, a sacrifice fly, and an error. by the Apple Sox. Kelowna regained their 2-run lead with a run in the top of the 9th inning, and they pick up the season-opening win. Now, as Joel noted, tonight's first pitch is at 7:05. Normally, they start at 6:35, but 7:05 tonight, a half hour later than normal, because at the conclusion of the game, once it's dark enough, fireworks at Paul Thomas Senior Field. Well, Tim Beckham's pinch hit home run in the bottom of the 8th inning made the difference last night as the Mariners snapped a 4-game losing streak with a 5-4 win over the Cardinals. Beckham crushed a fastball for his 3rd career pinch hit homer, 13th of the season. Giovanni Gallegos served up the meat. The hit broke a 4-all tie, sent the Cardinals to their 6th loss in 7 games. They're now 1 game below 500. Of course, Beckham began the season really hot. So did the Mariners, remember, at 13-2, but Beckham eventually cooled off and was eventually demoted to a platoon player. Omar Narvaez also homered for the Mariners to help build a 4-2 lead through 6 innings, but Yario Munoz in the lineup for the injured Matt Carpenter tied the game at 4-4 in the 7th with a 2-run home run. Mariner reliever Austin Adams came in, used a nasty slider, and struck out 4 consecutive Cardinals, and that set up Beckham's heroics in the 8th inning. Jose Martinez had 2 solo home runs, one off the opener, Matt Carcidi, in the 1st inning, and then another one off reliever Wade LeBlanc in the 6th inning. By the way, Mariner right fielder Mitch Haniger is going to remain on the DL. The former All-Star is recovering from testicle surgery, and apparently his rehab, he pushed it a little too hard. Mariner manager Scott Service says, we don't know when we're going to see Mitch Haniger again. By the way, the Mariners and the Cardinals play Game 2 of their 3-game series tonight. St. Louis will go with Adam Wainwright, while the Mariners will go with Mike Leake. Mike Leake is the only Mariner pitcher so far with a record above 500. Well, as you know by now, the U.S. national team has advanced to the World Cup Championship match. They beat England on Tuesday. The final was 2-1. The U.S. scored in the 10th minute on a goal by Christian Press. England scored the equalizer in the 19th minute on Ellen White's 6th goal of the tournament. And then Alex Morgan scored the eventual game winner in the 31st minute. The Americans will play the winner of today's other semifinal. That's Sweden and the Netherlands. The World Cup Championship match is Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. And finally, on this Wednesday, Chelan native Joe Harris and his free summer basketball camp is the topic of a mini documentary produced by his NBA team, the Brooklyn Nets. Take a look.
Yeah, camp, this is the 5th year in a row that we've done it. So every year that I've been in the NBA, I just wanted to come back and have a youth camp. I kind of looked at it as one of these things, like I said, growing up as a coach's kid, I was always in the gym going to camps, and, I knew that when I was old enough or had an opportunity, I wanted to do something similar. We want you to work hard, we want you to have a good attitude, and we want you to be a great teammate, all right? To be able to do it with my dad, have my sisters come back, have a lot of my buddies that I grew up with come and help out, guys I played in college with come back and help out, and then just various guys in the area. It's awesome, it's special, it's sort of like a reunion at this point.
I think that's the best part about it, is that the camp is built around that family atmosphere, and we try to embody that with all the guys that are here coaching with us, and just to have Joe come back and give back to our small community and the kids around here.
When I'm shooting, you want to have a perfect L, all right? So everybody do it with me.
We've been really innovative in what we're bringing to camp this year with the home court application. Dr. Bauman coming and talking to parents and young people about why and what you can do to get better on or off the court.
People just come back that are wanting to help out, and these kids are not getting charged a dime, but they get a lot of resources.
We got to credit Joe with a lot of that. He's pretty innovative in his thinking, and the idea that it's free is a result of his passion for the game, and he wants every kid to be able to experience that.
Buckets on 3. All right, 1, 2, 3, bucket. You're right to 2, you're right to 2. Unfortunately, we don't have enough gym space to accommodate, a certain amount of kids, so we only are allowed really to bring in anywhere between 250 and 275.
I think all of our coaches have become a little bit more comfortable with the enormity of the camp. We tried to shut it off at 250, but Joe's and my intent and the whole family is that we're not going to turn anybody away. It's a facility issue more than it is a size issue.
There you go. Talk it up. A little chatter. Clap it up. There it is.
We'd love to take the camp on the road. We've talked about that for years, about going back to Virginia or back into New York, and just being able to pack it up and head somewhere else and give somebody else a feel for what we think is very important, and that's what the game can give you.
I just kind of always grew up being around the game, following him to practices, to clinics, to camps. So, for me, to come back home now and have this camp, have him help out, it's pretty awesome just to see it all kind of come full circle.
What do we got? Teamwork, it's on you.
1, 2, 3, teamwork!
That's cool stuff from the gentleman they call Joey Buckets. Everybody have a great Independence Day. Don't forget, we won't be here tomorrow and we won't be here on Friday. Have a great weekend. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. Great story. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great Independence Day.